And something else that's from the past, and actually rock and roll is pretty hard, is School of Rock, everybody. And Jack Black came forward saying, hey, everybody, he's ready for School of Rock too. That's right. He says, I am ready, working on it, trying to make this happen. He's been trying to make this for a long time. But the 2003 smash hit School of Rock came out way too long ago now. It's so long ago. But of course, remember what this is. It's Jack Black going to teach music and try to make all these kids into a rock band. And of course, a big performance at the end. It's a lot of fun. It's Jack Black doing his Jack Black thing. And just having fun with the kids, singing Peaches and shit like that all day. Well, then Peaches, that'd be before Peaches, but I'm really excited if this does happen. And Jack Black says he's ready to try to get this shit put together. Before he was saying he didn't think it ever going to happen. He said multiple times in multiple interviews. He said he loves that franchise, that movie. He wants to do more. But now he came forward, like he said, guys, I'm finally ready for it. Then we got to figure it out. So School of Rock 2 sounds to be moving forward. It's not officially announced yet, but if Jack Black's ready, and he can freaking make it happen, I think he will, because this has been something that's been true to his heart for a long time. I'm down for this. It's a good feel-good movie, everybody. Feel-good movie. He goes back in there, new class, figuring out they have a musical they base this off of as well. Maybe he takes his, maybe it's about them growing up. Now they're like rock and roll legends, these kids or something. And they're on the road and he's got to do sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Make the kids come back together and be okay. We could have some fun with this. You could maybe, or is he train a new class? I don't know. The idea is out there though. And I think that Jack Black is a fun comedian. And I think he does a great job performing. Of course, Tenacious D is freaking awesome, if you ask me. And I just like to see it. I think it's one of those movies that, of course, people be like, I know people are like, oh, don't do that again. But I think this is one that maybe, just maybe could be something good to come back to and revisit this movie and have an actual spinoff. I know Sabrina might say later that we shouldn't be doing this, but I want to ask everybody else how they feel about this happening, because I think it could be good.
I love this news. I love it.
What do we think about this? Peppy wants to see it, apparently.
Aren't the kids just all going to want to be DJs?
Maybe they want to be
in their 30s at this point. This movie came out 21 years ago.
Well, I was saying, do you think there's going to be about the kids growing up, or are they going to do a new class? Like Jack Black's had to go back in for some reason, because he was like a failed rock star, right? That's what happened in the last one, and then he all of a sudden gets fame because of these kids.
Need a sequel. This never needed a sequel. It was a singular story. It worked well on its own. It got a musical somehow. Like, it's fine. Just leave it alone. We don't need more. We're good here. Thank you, Jack, for your service. Make something new.
He was making Mario 2. He's going to sing some more Peaches as well. But this doesn't make you excited at all. Like, because people love this movie and people have been asking for it for a long time.
No, you know what? I think if he's going to make a sequel to one of his films from that era, let's get another Nacho Libre. Let's get Nacho Libre 2. School of Rock doesn't need a sequel. Doesn't need a sequel. Those kids are, if it follows the kids, they're in their 30s at this point. So the only way I can see it going is he's teaching their kids. And you don't need a sequel 21 years later. You don't.
Yeah.
We're good.
Like I said, comedies rarely need sequels. It's like if they did a sequel to Old School, I wouldn't want to see that. I love that movie. But I feel like that was kind of like a good niche in time overall, as opposed to being something that you revisit. It's a fun, good, wholesome, happy, rocking movie. I don't know. I mean, I feel you, Rachel, though. I feel like a lot of times you just don't need to go here again, and it had its payoff already, right? But I think there could be something here, Mark. What do you think, Mark? Do you see it all? Yeah. Are you a fan of School of Rock?
I loved it. It's a classic. It's kind of one of those perfect movies, right? The thing is, it's not impossible if they have the right parameters. Maybe he's in college now or something. Maybe there's a rival school. It's like Dave Grohl or something like that. And he has to do a thing. Maybe he's embracing how no one cares about rock anymore. And it's all electronic stuff or hip hop. But, however, all these classic comedies, the 20-year plus sequels, it just never really done well. From Dumb and Dumber 2 to Anchorman 2.
Oh yeah.
To when they kind of revisit the old stuff, they haven't had a lot of success. I'm not saying this will be like that. I'm just saying the odds are stacked against it. So I'm kind of skeptical, but I hope it does well because I love Jack Black and I like I like School of Rock.
What do you think, Mark? Would it be about the kids being grown up, or him training new kids, or you think him with a new class, Saved by the Bell, the new class?
Interesting to me is where they would take it. Obviously, if they did this off the heels of the old one, it could always just be a new class. That could have been the franchise, different classes or different schools. He can be going to different countries. Like I said, even going to being a professor in college, blah, blah, blah. But now, when it's been decades, I don't know where they're going to take it. I'm sure we're going to get the cameos. all of these movies always have the cameos of the old cast. I don't know if it's gonna be about them, but it could be. It could be their kids. It could be one of the students has kids and they're trying to teach them music and they know a guy and they bring in Jack Black, something like that. But that's what I'm the most interested in, is what they're going to do with the plot. I'm very curious to where they're going to take it, because they've had all the time in the world to crack the story,
Yeah, they have a lot. They've had a lot of time to think about this. 2003. That's a freaking long time ago. I graduated from high school in 2003. It's crazy when you look back at it too. No, not that young.
Oh shit!
Not. I know, Peppy. That was shots fired, Pep Star. Shots fired by Miss Vittore.
That's shots fired. I'm just saying, you're fucking young.
What do you think, Sabrina? Okay, so Mark is interested in this. He thinks this could be good. He likes the franchise. He grew up on it. He'd love to see what they can do with it. Rachel over here, on the other hand, is saying, guys, we've done this before. It's the same old song and dance. It's a comedy. Let's let it be. Let's let it lie. Do you agree with either of them? Or are you split? Or are you in the middle? Like, how do you feel about this? Can Jack Black bring some new life to this franchise and make it work after 21 years? Or should it lie in the past with his old guitar and that whole band when they were kids?
Well, unlike you, I was graduating college in 2003, so it's a little different for me time-wise. I think that Jack Black is amazing and super talented, and I love Tenacious D, and I love his work. I don't love when you sing Peaches every 10 minutes. We all know that. But I will say that if they did it with a new class, like, maybe he retired from teaching and he comes back because this class, they could do something that wouldn't be exactly a sequel or a repeat or something, and it could touch a new generation. I think that that's possible. I agree with Mark, which is literally, I've agreed with Mark a lot of times during the show, which is not like me. I usually like to not agree with anyone. But I also agree with Rachel. Because, I don't reuse the same penis all the fucking time, for fuck's sake, But at the same time, I feel like they could just indoctrinate a new class and bring him to come back to teach. You know what I mean? There's a way that they can manipulate this, that it could be successful and again touch a new generation. So I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. I feel like if they do it right, it could be. There it is. Hard pass. Oh my god, that hilarious. I definitely understand your point, Zach, and I do understand your point, Queen, as well. Yeah, fuck off.
20 years later, he's getting out of jail.
I'm just saying. I feel like there is a way. There's a lot of people who really, really like this film, and there's a way for younger people. For you, Zach, I feel like there's a way for younger people to appreciate this film as opposed to, just reusing IPness the way that they normally do. So I think it has potential. I just have to see what they do with it.
Yeah. That's right. So Sabrina's kind of in the middle too. Usually she shuts this shit down right away. So, but I think though too, I think there's potential here too, but it comes down to the story. It comes down to how do we make this, franchise or this story still work 21 years later. And, how does Jack Black fit in there? Could be a good idea. Why not a comedy series based on School of Rock?
Yeah.
I think they tried that at some point. I feel like they did.
Yeah.
I think they just did a play. Did they do a show?
They did play. I know they did play. Yeah. I don't know if there was ever a show, but that could be fascinating too. Maybe he could be the principal of the School of Rock, and they have all these kids trained to be rock stars, and it's like his special rock academy. I don't know.
Where you going with this?
That's another thing. Do we know if this is going to be like a theatrical release, or is this going to be like an Amazon Prime original or something like that?
Oh, that's a good question. They're kind of
synonymous at this point, honestly. You know what I mean? I feel like the lines are all blurred between all of that. There are certain films that put their fucking heels down. They're we're having a theatrical release, but I also feel like they do the release in theaters and release online at the same time. I don't know that really matters at this point because the lines are so blurred.
Then there's times like Roadhouse, where they were fighting to the theatrical, and then it came to Amazon only. There's a big debate and fight over it, So I don't know. They could be. You're right, Mark. Could just go to Amazon. It could be something like that. Those deals happen easier, I think, for people to get 20 million, 50 million, and then you shoot it and you put it out there and then you're good to go. And you don't have a theatrical release. But I still think you make more money go theatrical with this. I think you could. But I'll have to see. Because
Yes, sir.
It shouldn't be that expensive either. A movie like School of Rock should be fairly cheap to produce,
Yeah, you're not having big special effects. I mean, the biggest thing to do is probably like a rock concert at one point. How much is that really, comparative to all the special
child actors are going to be cheap. You know what I mean? Like Jack Black's probably the most expensive part of it.
Yeah. But if he's a producer on it,
maybe some celebrity special guests.
Yeah, I mean, if he's making it, he'll probably make concessions on that end to make it happen if he's that passionate about it,
But to that end, if he was that passionate about it, he could have done it years ago.
It's true.
He's had a pool for at least the last 10 years.
He's very busy. He's
rocking the D all day.
He's making Instagram videos of him in a Superman outfit, like regularly. He also...
Mark, you seen those? I saw your eyes. it's pretty funny.
I have it.
He's doing like live action Mario, and he's like having special effects. He's like jumping and like through lava and stuff. And
he
hitting
had to
bricks
write Peaches. That was obviously a fucking at least 2 days.
Right.
He's still doing the Tenacious D thing.
Yes.
Like he's very busy.
He's freaking doing shit. But that Superman shit. He's got millions of subscribers on YouTube too. Come on, Jack Black. Come on, Cruise Control.
He's funny.
But
he's a funny guy. Of course he has bunches of people.
No onions.
He's got bunches of peaches. That's what he's got. But I gotta tell you, I would watch it. I'd check it out. We'll have to see if it actually happens or not. Again, he's trying to push forward now to make it happen, and I hope it's going to happen. I really do, because sometimes I like going to old stuff that just maybe needs a little bit more. There's a lot of movies that I've seen that I'm like,
it's fine.
I know.
It's good.
I don't think it needs more, but if you can recycle it with a whole new group of kids, like that would be, it wouldn't be like a sequel per se. It would just be another class going through the School of Rock. And that's different.
Well,
yeah.
What I think would be interesting is culturally rock isn't as relevant anymore. Like it'd be taking kids and reinvigorating them about rock.
Does anyone remember when they remade Fame? How well that did?
Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah, did not do well at all. No, that happens. But I like the idea of what Mark's saying, too, to kind of go off this way. Maybe it's like he's teaching a new school. So he's like the rock guy, but he's got to teach like you were saying, maybe DJing or maybe rap or maybe some kind of different synthesizing, something different.
Or just the kids don't care about rock as much anymore.
So he's trying to bring it back.
I know a lot of
he's trying to revive rock
now.
Right.
Yeah.
Rock's not dead.
Kids are getting into old school stuff these days.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Bring us back to the 90s sometimes, or the 80s, take us back. 70s, there's great rock in the 70s.
Modern kids are like listening to like Nirvana and Deftones right now. They're all over TikTok and stuff. It's kind of cool.
I mean, Nirvana's fucking amazing. Why wouldn't you?
Nirvana was so good. I'm like,
fucking so good.
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain would be fucking thrilled about that too. He'd probably be like, oh, hell
I think
yeah.
that'd be an interesting challenge. But then also maybe we are following the stories of his kids, and maybe they have kids, and it might be something along those lines.
Yeah,
exactly.
Who knows?
I think there is a way for this to go, for it not to be just recycled. It could be fresh. It could be fresh IPness instead of recycled IPness. So I feel like this has potential. Most things, I'm like, fuck you, do something new. But like this has potential to be good if they utilize it the right way, in my opinion.